What's going on YouTube? Melontosh here, and I'm back with the GPC analysis, draft analysis for you guys today. I drafted over last weekend actually. This is going to be going up on a Saturday, so it's been a week from then after the grace period is over, just in case I make some changes, but I don't think I'm going to. But just in case I don't want to do a draft analysis and then change straight away. So I'm going to wait till the Saturday, and then we have constant GPC every Saturday from this Saturday, like I said to you guys. So that's awesome. The next match will of course be a week today then, because you guys are seeing this on the Saturday, completely breaking the fourth wall, but you know, whatever, I do what I want. So the draft started. I was 5th in the draft. The draft had 2 divisions, 10 people in each division, but the divisions were separate, meaning, so there's 20 people in GPC, but meaning my draft was between 10 other people. And I was looking through the tier 1 ones, and I was looking through, and they're expensive, you know. Basically, I should definitely explain this first. So basically, I should explain this first. How does drafting work? Quickly for you guys. Each player gets 100 points, and then you have OUA, OUB, BL, UUA, UUB, RUA, RUB, NUA, NUB, and then leftovers. So OUA are 18 points, OUB are 13 points, I believe, no, 15 points, BL is 13 points, UUA is 11 points, UUB is 9 points, RUA is 7 points, RUB was 5 points, NUA was 4 points, NUB was 2 points, and leftovers were 1 point. Wow, that was hard, but I remembered them all, I think. I'm pretty sure I got them all there, which is good. So I was looking at this and like, you can't really get much there, and I was like, I'm just gonna get 4, like, it wasn't set on 4, but I ended up getting 4 OUA mons. I just wanted to start my draft off with a lot of points, and then I was looking through the end, though I thought there were some really good mons worth a lot of points. Value points is what I meant. Like, you'll see what I'm saying later on in the draft. So it kind of looked like at the beginning of the draft I was going to get, because you have to draft between 8 is the minimum you can draft and 12 is the maximum. So I was kind of aiming from the beginning, I was aiming for 10. If I was 9, it's okay. If I was 11, it's okay, although I was way more towards 9, although I do think that 9 mons becomes way more easier to plan for 10. I don't know why, I think it's just my psychological standpoint on things, but anyway, that's where I'm going. Maybe other people have the same standpoint, I don't know. And I was looking through the tier 1 mons, and I was like, what? This mon is allowed in the GPC. This mon was Greninja. Now, I do have to state very quickly before I get into my analysis of Greninja that it is Greninja XY, which means that egg moves in Aurus are not allowed, which basically, you can look it up on Cerebi. I looked it up, I don't know all of the moves, but the main ones for me were Icy Wind, in case I ever wanted to bring that as a possibility, and Gunk Shot. Other than that, I think Bounce maybe, but I don't know. I will look at them before every match just to double check that I have not got any of the Aurus egg moves in there. I'd imagine I'd have to forfeit the match if I did, or unless I realize halfway through the match, and then I can just not use the move, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how it would work, but it's something it's not going to happen. It's not going to let that happen to myself. So that's kind of what I'm going for. Greninja is an incredible one. So yes, I do get protein. Greninja, let's just go through his stats quickly. As you can see on the screen, we've got 72 HP, 95 attack, 67 defense, 103 special attack, 71 special defense, 122 speed. 122 speed is of course the standout point for Greninja, and its ability Protean. What Protean does, in case you do not know, it makes any move Greninja goes for, he turns into that type. Therefore, every move he goes for is stab. So if I go for Extra Sensory, Greninja becomes a psychic type. If I think they're going to go for a psychic on me because I just used low kick, then I can go for Dark Pulse. I'm a Dark Pulse, I'm immune. That's the kind of thing with Greninja. He hits really hard with 103 base attack. That's more than Mew. That's more than any of them, especially if you make him modest or something like that. He hits so hard with the Protean. Everything stab, everything hits so hard. It's incredible mon. Gets U-turn. Just off the top of my head, moves it gets are let me see. So Hydro Pump, obviously, Ice Beam, Dark Pulse, Extra Sentry, U-turn, Grass Knot. Doesn't get Gunk Shot because that's an Aurus move. It gets all the hidden powers, which are very viable. It gets, if you can run it physical, Night Slash, Ice Punch. I'm just having a look through the moves here. It gets Spikes, I think it gets T-Spikes as well. Let's just double check that. Do you get T-Spikes? You do get T-Spikes. It gets Toxic, it gets Thief. It gets Waterfall, Toxic, Substitute, Rock Slide, Quick Attack, which will be a stab, quick attack, Shadow Sneak, stab, Shadow Sneak, It's an amazing mon for sure, guys. It's an incredible mon. The only issue I have with it is I started getting into Wi-Fi battling, competitive Pokemon battling. I think Greninja was around for, I'd say, I don't know, not long. I'd say I used it in one team, and I faced it a few different times. I faced it, but I never really got to use it properly, especially when I really understood the game, you know. Like back then I didn't really even bother looking at speed tiers. I just threw together a team, and then it got banned before I even knew what it was. Didn't even know why it got banned. I didn't even think it was anything special, you know. And I think more while than that it would have been banned. So I don't have really any experience using this guy, but I feel like it's something I will be able to use well. I feel like it's something that will fit into my playstyle quite well. Especially, I feel that the rest of my team fits my playstyle. I do feel the rest of my team fits my playstyle, and I'm starting to understand what my playstyle is, which is really nice to me, especially when I'm building teams on Showdown. I didn't really know before, so that's really nice. A little bit of extra information for you guys. And that was our first mon. He is our captain, and he is going to be shiny, which means he's nice and black, and he looks silky and smooth. And that is going to be the captain. His nickname shall be Kermit the Greninja, the team captain for our Exeter Chief Electivires. Quickly, before I move on as well, I'd really like to thank Pew Pew and Jesse for helping out with the logo for the Exeter Chief Electivires. Both channel links will be in the description down below. I think they're both bigger than me, or at least the same size. But go check them out anyways, because they helped me out with the logo, and it's really great help. Thank you for that. But next mon I was looking through, and this is another mon which is banned in the GBA, but I was like, wow, this could be cool. And I'm looking through, and my original plan was to get three mons from OUA, and I was thinking, you know, I'm going to try to get a Dragon Steel Fairy Core. I was looking at Water Fire Grass Core and thinking of just making a really strong core with 3 mons, including the Greninja. But I figured Greninja is so frail, and I kind of wanted a core that could go defensive and offensive. And Greninja really is honestly only an offensive mon. He can be a lead and stuff, but it's only offensive stuff that he does. Well, he sets up spikes, but you know what I'm saying. He's not going to be taking hits. If he takes a hit, it's probably because he's got a focus sash. It's probably the only reason he's really going to take a hit. So I decided not to do that. I decided, you know, later on I might try and pick some lower stuff to get that Fire Water Grass Core, especially if I want to get a really offensive Fire Water Grass Core. So I was looking at it, and I was like, wow, I can't really pass up on this thing. Even if say I have 2 average cores, that's cool as well. So my original plan was to get Mega Latios next. I was definitely looking at other mons such as Mega Manectric to pick up later, to pair really well with Greninja. Like, that speed is crazy, first 2 picks or something like that. But I decided to get Mega Latios with some incredible stats here, based out of 700, guys, that's mental. With 80 HP, 130 attack, 100 defense, 160 special attack, 120 special defense, and 110 speed. Man, our team is looking fast, guys. We've got 110 and 122 base speed at the moment. That is incredible. That is absolutely insane. If I'm being honest with you, that's crazy. And with 130 attack, I will run a Dragon Dance set, and I will use a physically attacking Latios. So that's something I will do. Don't sleep on it. In case someone's watching this video, that I will do that. 130 attack is definitely not something to sleep on. Of course, 160 special attack is something you definitely don't want to sleep on, because that's the main thing I'll definitely be running, especially its move pool is ridiculous. You guys know. The other great thing about it is a defogger, although it's like I feel like it's too good to be used as a defogger all the time, but I do address that later in my draft. I get some rapid spinners, but it's definitely in the right matchup. Defog is definitely something that is worth getting. This thing could be Subcom Mine setup. It gets Psychic, Psyshock, Energy Ball, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam. I think it's easier to Dragon Pulse, Dragon Rage, Dragon Claw, Outrage. Wow, Shadow Ball. I'm looking through now. Tailwind if I want to use it. Surf, Zen Headbutt, Waterfall. It's got Bulldoze. It gets Charge Beam. You know, there's so much I can do with this mon. It gets screens, I think. I know it gets light screen. I don't know if it gets reflect. It does get reflect as well, but obviously I can't have the the light clay, which boosts that because it's got to be a mega. And in the GPC, you do not have to mega first turn. But I don't see a scenario where that benefits me at all. yeah, I don't see a scenario where that really benefits me, if I'm being honest with you guys. It gets Memento as well, which is nice. Unfortunately, I would have preferred Megaladias, but Megaladias is banned because it is just better, especially in the draft format. With that healing wish as well, it just gets a little bit crazy, and yeah, it gets Hornclaws as well. So you know, I don't know where that can come in handy, but you never know, that could definitely come in handy. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know. So this is probably our vice captain of our team, but not special enough to be shiny. We're just rocking out with the normal Latios. My Mega Latios will be called Eon for you guys. By the way, there will be some nicknames coming up, and if you have any suggestions for nicknames, then let me know, because I know not all my nicknames are perfect, and some ones I just don't really have good nicknames for. But anyways, with the next mon, I was like, right, okay, it's round 3. This thing could definitely be a round 1 pick. So this is going to be my third mon. Basically my plan from here was, I'm going to let you guys know it's a fairy type, and I was like, wow, this thing is good. I love using it, I'm comfortable using it, which is something I've never used Mega Latios before. Obviously before my first match I would have used it, I can use it in OU, I can practice some sets with it, blah 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 blah, but I've never used it before, so I'm not that comfortable using it. I've used Latios, normal Latios of course, but never Mega Latios. So my first 2 mons I'm not the most comfortable with, but the mons I really wanted to use. I've always wanted to use Greninja because I always wanted to kind of know why it was banned, and I understand why it was banned, but I never got to see the power of it, if you know what I'm saying. I never had to build for it, I never had to use it in a team, so I'm really excited to use Greninja, and I'm so happy it's on, and I'm really excited to use Mega Latios as well. This should be fun. Should be really fun. It's a great 2 Pokemon left, and yeah, and I was looking through, and yeah, I was like, it could be a first round pick, it could be not a second round pick, but it's the 3rd round. No one's picked it up. I love using this thing, and I was like, okay, so I'll get this fairy type, and then I'll maybe try and get Fortress or some other lower steel type, maybe an UUA or UUB, and then I'll work my way down, and that will be it for my OUs. And so I grabbed Sylveon here. Hello, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. So I grabbed Sylveon here. Sylveon is a fantastic mon. I love using this thing, and the thing is in the draft format is it can do stuff, you know. You can run this thing. Well, let's go over its stats really quickly. It's got 95 HP at 65 attacking, which, I mean, last resort, Sylveon's a thing. Watch out for that. 65 defense, 110 special attack, 130 special defense, and 60 speed. So not the fastest, but our first 2 mons are really fast, so that's kind of cool. Has a butt ton of special attack. Definitely something on our team right now. A weakness in our team is that we have only got special attackers. We've got 3 special attackers, and they all hit hard and can't. Well, Greninja can hit on the physical side, and so can Latios, but they're mainly special attackers. So that's kind of a weakness on our side right now. But and also this thing, the best thing about this thing is it is versatile. I can't run it physically offensive. I'm not going to do that. I may run quick attack if I'm feeling funky, or it's a max. It doesn't matter. Anything like that. You know what I'm saying. But because it has a reasonably high HP stat, you can run this thing physically defensive, and it takes hits pretty well with Wish Protect. It has reliable-ish recovery. You can run it specially defensive, and it's amazingly bulky on the special side. You can run it with Choice Specs. You can run it Choice Scarf if you really want to. If you want to catch people off guard, I've done that. You guys see me do that on the ladder, and it just catches. No one expects Choice Scarf Sylveon coming, and it's something that I'm comfortable using. So it's something I would definitely use. I use this mon in all kinds of ways on the ladder, and I will use it in all kinds of ways in the GPC. And I'm really excited to use this thing. And I think it really suits my playstyle. I think wolves that hit hard really suit my playstyle. As I am currently using a team kind of to get used to my GPC team. Maybe some ones I'm not so used to. Obviously, Greninja's not in it. And I'm gonna upload a live with that after my first match, because there's one set which I'm using in my first match. Well, I think I'm gonna be using. I haven't finished playing my team, which I can't really use. So next, I was looking through, and I was like, right, okay, so I'm gonna look through UUA. I think Fortress got scooped up, and I was looking at some other stuff. I can't remember what. I was thinking about Lucario for an offensive things, and I was a bit nah. And I looked at OUB, and I was like, what? This mon is literally, in my opinion, one of the best mons in the draft format. And I was like, wow, okay, so I've already spent, what is that, 1836? Wow, maths and things. 54 points. I already spent 54 points on Mons. I think 18 times 3 is 54. I don't know. Maybe I got that wrong. Maths is not my forte, but I went with it anyway. So I've got like what 46 points left, and I'm like, I've 3 Mons and I've used over half my points, guys. I know maybe 46 may sound like a lot of points, but I've used half my points in 3 Mons. And now I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, oh no. Oh no, I want this thing so bad. And I was like, you know what? I've got a plan. And the other good thing about this is my theory was, if I can, if I do this, then I'm almost definitely gonna get the lower tier Mons I want. Because if I'm going to lower tier before everyone else, because I've chosen 4 higher tier Mons, I'm gonna get the ones I want, because they're all picking their UU RU Mons, and I should be going down to my NUB Mons. So that was kind of my plan from here. So I did try scoop up Excadrill. Excadrill is incredible in this format. Oh my lord, I cannot believe I got this thing 4th round in the draft. Oh my lord, in a snake draft as well, and I was 5th, so I was bang in the middle. I got it 4th round. Holy smack. So that is a really nice Dragon Steel Fairy Core, Mega Latios, Sylveon, and Excadrill. Holy monkeys, that is good. That is a great Dragon Steel Fairy Core. This thing's got 110 HP, 135 attack, wow, 60 defense, 50 special attack there, 65 special defense, and 88 speed. So this thing is not slow with 88 speed. Not particularly fast, but slap a Scarf on there and it's going to be scary. It gets Mold Breaker, Sand Force, and Sand Rush. I can potentially use them. I've got some Mons. I have actually checked this. I do have Mons that can learn Sandstorm. So if it is really that good that week, I will run it. But I had a quick scan of the team, a very quick scan of the team, and there's not really a matchup where I see myself running that. But it's definitely a potential for myself to have. Which is really, really cool, honestly. I think that's a really good potential to have. Let me just move over here quickly, because I feel like I was going out the screen, I don't know. I think it's really good sweeping potential for me to have. It can be defensive, because it has, I know 65 defense and 65 special defense aren't the best, but that 110 HP means that he can be bulky if you invest in HP and one of defense and special defense, especially with an Assault Vest. This thing is so bulky with an Assault Vest. It gets Rapid Spin as well, which takes the load off of Latios. So Latios is not the only default got on the team. As we see, I think we have 3 Rapid Spinners, so this is 2 of them. Ezreal is definitely one of the best Rapid Spinners in the game. Really, I mean, that Dragon Scale Fairy Core on its own is terrifying. Add Greninja into that, man, my team's looking scary at the moment. I think my team's looking scary at the moment. But of course, and someone even posted in the chat at this point, they were like, I'm kind of worried about Melontosh's points. He's not going to have enough points, especially after my next pick. And the good thing with this thing is, again, I think it fits in my playstyle as well. Because if I use it as a wall, it hits really hard as well. And I think my playstyle is using walls that hit hard and aren't necessarily the most bulky on both sides, but they hit back really hard. I think so. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. And yeah, and this thing can be banded, it can be scarfed, it can be life orbed, it can set up rocks, it can rapid spin, it kind of does everything, because I didn't have any other rock setters up until this point. So it was really nice for me to grab, and I was super happy with that. But then I kind of thought, you know, I'm going to start to get a little bit more realistic, and I was kind of looking at trying to get a fire type, fire or grass type for my Greninja Fire Water Grass Core. And I was looking through and I was like, well, to be honest, I'm so uncomfortable with Shaman, and Shaman for me is kind of one of those mons that whenever I use it, it doesn't really go well, but whenever other people use it against me, it kind of just always does well against me. But because I'm not good with using it, and I have used it before, and I'm not the best with Shaman, so I decided, you know what, I'm going to go for a lower tier Grassmon. I wasn't quite sure at the time what I wanted, but I was going to go for a Yoku Gasmon, so I'm going to look at fire type mons. And I was looking through and I was like, oh wow, obviously Victini is OUA, so I could not do that. I could not allow myself to have I mean, I could have done it if I had 5 OUA mons and then 5 NUB mons. I think I would have been fine, but I decided not to. At this point, my point total is racking up. I'm not quite sure what it was. I think I said it was 54, and then plus 18 is 72. So that leaves me with what, 18 points left? Wow, chat, that's not a lot of points. There's not a lot of points. So I think at this stage I have 18 points left. I'm looking through and I'm just going to very quickly put the music on. Yeah, that was quicker than I thought it was. I was going to cut, but I'm not going to now. So I was looking through, and honestly, this is the only time in the draft I got sniped. I wanted Arcanine. I really wanted Arcanine because I felt with my team it was extreme speed, which is powerful priority, which I really, really wanted. It had really good physical offense. It could be defensive and offensive. I'm really used to using Arcanine. I used to use it all the time. It used to be my mascot. I used to use it all the time. And it's just a great one. It gets close combat, Flare Blitz. It's amazing. Morning Sun with a Wisp. But that got sniped from me, I think, 2 rounds before me. So that was a little bit gutting, but I knew I planned my draft for snipes, you know. I was open that the fact that I was going to get sniped was probably most likely going to happen, even though it didn't. But I was open to it, so I had plans behind that, which was just nice that I could go with plan A. But plan B for this one was really, really simple for me. And in fact, I did have a plan C for in case this thing got sniped, but it didn't. And that was Entei. Entei was an OU Amon. Entei was an OU Amon, which is really, really nice. 11 points, so still pretty expensive for me, especially with 18 points left. No, not 18 points left. That wouldn't make any sense. I would have had... I don't know what I would have had. I would have had... the points total will hopefully be somewhere on the screen. I don't know. Probably up here. Yeah. Be somewhere on the screen. With... Oh! My Sylveon... That's so annoying. Okay, Sylveon is going to be named Bella. But if you have any nickname choices for Sylveon, please leave them in the comment section down below. That would be really, really appreciated. And my Escudero is going to be called Speckles. Hopefully that will appear on the screen as well. But back to Entei, who is going to be called Simba. I like that name for Entei. It's really, really cool. So Simba the Entei is going to be rocking out with us. The reason I wanted Arcanine over this thing was because it gets Morning Sun, it gets better, it gets the Intimidate, so it gets better bulk because of the Intimidate, and I think it has slightly better special defense, and I think defenses are similar. But do not get me wrong, I'm actually so happy with Entei. In fact, I kind of think it suits the team better. I got more HP with 115 HP, so it is bulky. It is a bulky mon. It does get Will-O-Wisp. It doesn't get that Morning Sun recovery, which is kind of really bad for a fire type wall. So it can't really be a wall because of that fact, unless I can ensure rocks off that game, maybe. I don't know. It gets 115 attack, which is huge, which gives me in the last 2 picks I got 2 huge physical attackers, kind of balancing my team out, especially with the Greninja and Latios being able to go each way. It really balances my team out, I feel. Sacred Fire is huge, something that Arcanine doesn't get. 50% chance to burn, that is incredible. I think burn and T-Wave are my favourite statuses, just because it just, like, you can't... I can go for a Sacred Fire on a Garchomp and have a 50% chance to burn it, and if I get the burn, that can be game changing on the Garchomp, and Garchomp 4 times resists my stat. So it's kind of great. With 90 special attack, it can use the hidden powers as well, which is really, really great. And I can slap an Assault Vest on this thing. It can be scarfed, it can be banded. I think it Specs if I really, really wanted to. Gym Leader Geo ran a funky little Sunny Day Solar Beam set if I ever really want to run that. Something similar to that, obviously won't be exactly the same. But yeah, it has so many options. Extreme Speed is devastating, especially in the League format. It's incredible. I love this mon. I think it's great. I'm pretty used to using it. I'm not amazing with it, but it's definitely one I can use more, because normally I tend to just use Arcanine because I have just this burning love for Arcanine. So it may not even be, so maybe it may have been good that Arcanine got sniped, because this thing may actually be better for my team, and it was just my own personal bias. That is the reason I wanted Arcanine, but we do not get Arcanine. So we've got Simba as head, and I am ecstatic with Simba. I love this thing. I would say it's my favorite dog, my favorite legendary dog. It's so cool. I love it. And next up, okay, so at this point, I've not got a lot of points left. Like, not a lot. I think I've got 10 points left. Yeah, I think I had 10 points left, which means no. Oh no, I had 17 points left at this point, which means I had 28 points the time before, which works perfectly for the math. So I got this thing, and yeah, and I got this thing, and I'm like, okay, so I want something fast, and I want something to compare it with Greninja, and I'm not gonna lie, as soon as I got Greninja, I was looking at this thing, and I was like, okay, it's round 6. It was perfect because I needed to start going lower. So I knew that this was going to be, I had 17 points left. I was like, okay, 17 points, an RUA, then that leaves me with 6 Mons. So then technically I can get 2 more Mons. So I could get 2 RUBs for 5 points, or I could get an NU, 2 NUAs and an NUB, something like that, something to make up 10 points. That would give me Mon, and I did that in the end. So I went with this Mon. Sorry about that, guys. Someone came into my room, so I had to quickly deal with that. But yeah, the next Mon I decided to choose was literally right as I was about to announce the Mon as they walked in. That's fine. But the next one was Jolteon for us. It pairs really well with Extra Joe. It has 130 speed. Let's just go through the stats really quickly. 65 HP, so obviously it's not going to be very bulky. With 65 attack, 60 defense, 110 special attack, which is nothing to shrug off, laugh at, I don't know. I definitely had something in my head and I lost it. 95 special defense and 130 speed. That is incredible. So the mixture of this Greninja, Latios, and Jolteon makes my team super speedy, and then with the average speeds of like Entei, which is base speed 100, which is nothing to again shrug off, nothing to laugh at, nothing to take for granted, and Extra, which is not slow at all. It makes my team pretty fast and hard to deal with. This thing can be choice specs and modest and still outspeed a lot of an opponent's team. I can run this thing Scarf if I really want to. I can also run this thing with specs. I can run it Expert Belt, I can run it Life Orb. Of course I can't really want it physical, but it's a great mon, you know. It really is. With moves access like Thunderbolt, all the hidden powers, because it has such a high special attack, Shadow Ball, Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Signal Beam, if I need it. I mean, it's not the most diverse mon, but it is nothing, literally, it's a great mon for 7 points. And this left me with 10 points, of course. It gets Hyper Voice if I really want it. I've said Shadow Ball, Thunder Wave, Toxic. That's the main kind of things with it. It gets Agility Button Pass, if I really wanted to go with that. It gets Hyper Beam as well, which is kind of cool. It gets Hyper Beam as well, which is definitely kind of cool. And I think Jolteon pairs really well with Greninja because it gives me a kind of a Volt Turn core, which is another style which I think I'm preferable with, is a Volt Turn core. And Greninja and Jolteon definitely give that to me. Something I was looking at early on was Infernape with Greninja and Jolteon to get a core, but I decided not to go with that, especially when I saw Entei and I was like, yummy. So I went with Jolteon here. It gets Volt Absorb as well, which means Volt Switching against my team can be really hard because Extra Joe is my ground type and my electric type. Jolteon gets Volt Absorb, which means you can't even Volt Switch and I can heal up, especially if you're going to go for a Volt Switch against Greninja. And also pivoting around things like Sylveon, you're going to want to Volt Switch and Latios, predicting them to come in, which makes it a lot harder for people to do that against me. Which I like a lot. I like that a lot. And it means that if someone has a really powerful electric type, I don't have to bring Extra Drill to stop it. I don't know if anyone has drafted Raikou, but say someone wants to draft Raikou, they can whack Aura Sphere on that, and Extra Drill's probably not going to deal with that very well. Obviously, I haven't run Calcs or anything. Maybe I could put an Assault Vest on it, blah blah. That's a video for another time because we will be doing team builders. So I really like the look of Jolteon in this match. In this team, it looks great. It gives me some really good speed. It's very hard to outspeed 130. Of course it can be done. It's not the fastest mon in the game, but it is super speedy, and fast electric types always seem to do well in the draft format. So I'm really stoked to use Jolteon. I'm really comfortable using Jolteon as well. It's something that I've used before. I've used it in past league, well, Showdown leagues, I guess don't really count, but I was undefeated in the one I used it in, and it came to every game. So what are you going to do about it? And after this, I had 10 points left. I was looking through my team and I was like, it's not the most defensive team, and I've got loads and loads of offense, and honestly, I want to get some low defense bulk kind of things on the go. I also need some more stealth rockers, and possibly I knew there was this mon I really wanted from the beginning. You guys know him, you love him. I didn't pick him this time, but I'm really comfortable with him. But the one I picked now was an NUA worth 4 points, which left me with 6 points, and I had 7 picks after this. So I went with Miltank. Miltank is a really great mon, especially for 4 points. It has some really good bulk. It's got 95 attack, 95 HP, which is it's definitely decent. 80 attack, which is also decent. 105 defense, 40 special attack, and never going to run it specially. 70 special defense, which is decent, and 100 speed. Again, 100 speed, just making the average speed of my team is really hard to deal with. Even this as a wall is 100 speed, which is crazy. This thing gets T-Wave, it gets Toxic, it gets Milk Drink, reliable recovery. Body Slam's really nice to paralyze things. It gets Return. It can be Curse, a bit like a kind of not as good Curse Lax kind of thing. It's a fantastic mon. I'm just gonna really quick through, see if I can run through some moves for you guys. I think it gets like the punches, like ice punch and fire punch and stuff, which could be really cool. It gets ice beam, it gets ice punch, it gets brick break, it gets earthquake, heal bell, of course, which is really great. Silver one gets heal bell as well. Iron head, ice punch. Power up punch as well, protect, return, rock slide, seismic toss if he's got some real walls in his team. He does get stealth rock as well, which is really important, really important to my team. Thunder wave, toxic, and zen headbutt are all great moves to run on this thing. It can run bulldoze, but I mean it's got earthquake, so I don't really see myself running that. It gets counter too, which is kind of cool. Which is definitely kind of cool. I could definitely enjoy using counter on this thing, although I've never really used counter that much, but I know it's great in leagues. And it's only got one weakness, which is just fantastic, especially in leagues. So of course that weakness is fighting, which is quite a common typing in leagues, but I feel like I can use this thing reasonably well. I used to use this thing all the time, but then I kind of stopped doing lower ladders, which I kind of want to get back into, thinking about it. But anyway, that's not what this video is about at all. So hopefully I can just pick up using it again reasonably easily, because I used to use it all the time. I was definitely nowhere near as good at the game as I am now, but hopefully I can use it well. I think I will be able to. It's a very decent wall, and it actually has some good synergy with the rest of my lower tier picks, and they can make a pretty good defensive core, if you ask me. That's Miltank for you guys. Next up, I really wanted this thing. It was an NUB. I looked at it, 2 points. I was like, I want that. I know I'm gonna get loads of points. I know I'm gonna get loads and loads of. I'm going to be using loads of points early on, so I'm gonna definitely want to pick this thing up. It's a great value mon. I love using it. I'm used to using it. It was in my first ever UU team, and it was my first ever. It was in the team in my first ever win in competitive Pokemon. Sorry about that. It was in my first ever win. And I won with Aquajet Armaldo, which was our first, which was a great mon. I killed a Darmanitan and I used Aquajet Armaldo. I don't know if many people actually know it gets Aquajet, but I knew it from day one because I've used it, and it's definitely some extra priority on my team. I'm not afraid to use this thing. I know how to use this thing. If there's definitely a lower tier mon I know how to use it is Armaldo. It gets rapid spin, it gets stealth rocks as well. It has 125 attack. Let's go through its stats really quickly. 75 HP, which is nothing to laugh at. 125 attack, 100 defense, 70 special attack, 80 special defense, and 45 speed. With battle armor and swift swim, battle armor is definitely going to be the chosen move to go for, unless I need Hydro Pump, Rain Dance, Greninja for something, and then I may use Swift Swim, but I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon. It gets knockoff, it gets Exeter. This thing is just great. I love it. It can be leftovers and get some decent recovery. It can be assault vest. It definitely will have its matchups. Choice banded is definitely nothing to laugh at with 125 special attack, stone edge, stab stone edge, or stab Exeter, or knockoff. Wow, it hits like a truck. It's great value for an NUB. I don't think it's too good to be NUB because it has that 25% weakness to stealth rocks, and it has its issues. Definitely, it has loads of weaknesses, but I love it. It's Armaldo. I've got it. I'm happy. And my Miltank's name, by the way, I have no idea. So I need you guys to help in the comment section down below. I need you guys to give me a Miltank nickname, please. Please give me a Miltank nickname. Otherwise, I'll think of one, of course. I was thinking something like Utterly Mad. I don't. God damn it. So my Armaldo will, of course, be called Mantis from Kung Fu Panda, because he'll take out some stuff for sure. So next up, I'm looking through and I'm like, I want some walls. And I was looking through actually, and I had to leave the draft at this point. And there's Grace Week, so I knew it wasn't the end of the world, because I knew I wanted 2 NUBs to round up my draft, because that gave me 10 mons, because I have 8 mons at the moment, which means technically I have 4 points left. I could grab an NUA and be done with my draft and have 9, but I really wanted 10 mons, and also these 2 mons fitted really well. So basically, and the reason also is because I had 2 counterparts to both of these mons, and I really didn't think either of them were going to get sniped at this point in the draft, especially not 9th. They may get sniped last round, but not this round. So I wasn't sure whether I wanted Dusclops or Dusknoir. I ended up going with Dusclops. As you guys can see, I got Dusknoir in our last league, but I never got a chance to use it. I'm not that comfortable with using this thing. I know it is way more bulky than Dusknoir, and Dusknoir has a little bit more attack, which is definitely helpful. But I feel like the extra bulk really matters, because when I was running calcs for a couple of matches in the last match, just Dusclop just didn't seem to do it for me, and I knew if you just had that little bit extra bulk, then I knew I could have used him more. So I'm going to go with Dusclop. I know this thing is a pain in the ass, especially if a team lacks knockoff users. Man, this thing is a pain in the ass, because it is, of course, so bulky with Eviolite. It has 40 HP, which is abysmal, 70 attack, 130 defense, 60 special attack, 130 special defense as well, and 25 speed. So really slow, along with Armado. As you can see, these lower picks are starting to get a little bit slower on the team, but I think that's okay. Of course, 40 HP is dreadful, really quite bad. It is really bad. But 70 attack is okay if you can get, because it has a reasonable move pool. If I just go through the move pool quickly of this thing, it gets Blizzard, Body Slam, Brick Break. You can be Calm Mind, Dark Pulse, Earthquake. It gets the punches, Fire Punch, Ice Punch. I think it gets Thunder Punch as well. Yeah, Thunder Punch as well. Toxic, of course. It gets Memento, Nightshade, of course, for reliable damage. It gets Pursuit, not that really ever going to come into account. It gets Shadow Punch, Shadow Sneak, Sucker Punch as well, and Will-O-Wisp, which is great. And Trick, if I ever need to use Trick. That's fantastic. If I ever need to use Trick, it's there for me, but I don't really see myself using that because it is slow, and I can maybe Trick over an Eviolite to something, but it's not really going to nerf it. Like if I trick Eviolite to like a Choice Scarf Crocodile, it's not really going to do much. I mean, sure, I take away the Scarf, but I guess I could put Scarf on this thing and trick Chansey or a well, what's it called? Not Milotic. Although I could do that with a Milotic, but I wouldn't really want to do that to Milotic. It's pink. I can tell you that now. It's pink and it's annoying. Oh, that's so annoying. Cresselia. I could do that to Cresselia, probably with a Choice Scarf, and give it the Choice Scarf as I'll get leftovers or something, which could be cool. Could definitely be something I could dig it. I could dig it for sure. But this thing is really bulky. The Eviolite, I think Eviolite boosts stats by 1.5. Does Eviolite boost stats by 1.5? Let's find out. Eviolite. Yeah, by 1.5 defense and special defense. That means I can't really do the maths in my head. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know how to do this maths in my head. That is definitely something that I'm not good at. 1.5 times 130 is 65. So that means it would go up to 195 in both of its defenses. That's crazy. That is really crazy. There's a lot of defense. No wonder it takes things really well, even with 40 HP. So that's Dusclops. It is literally just a wall, and it's a wall people have to plan for, because the great thing about my lower tier mons is all of them can come. In my opinion, all of them can come. This last one people may sleep on, but I wanted a grass type to complete my Fire Water Grass core. And I was looking at Leafeon, because Leafeon has good bulk, has 90 something HP, 110 attack, abysmal 90 something defense as well, abysmal special defense, pretty bad speed, and pretty bad special attack. But it gets Leaf Blade, it gets decent, it gets knockoff, it gets Exeter, it definitely gets a decent move pool, and I've used it in the Sun team before in OU, and it actually did okay. But the thing is, I'm not really going to be using a Sun team, and it's not got the speed. And I was looking through other grass types. I was like, I'm just going to take Leafeon. I've only got 2 points. It's definitely something that can still come. Okay, guys, sorry about that. That was a little bit bad. Someone came in and I was just about to announce my next mon. So, getting the hype back up for you guys. Building it back up. I was looking at Leafeon. Of course, it's going to be life up, going to be banded, hits pretty hard, gets knockoff X's, a Leaf Blade, all that goodness. All of that goodness Leafeon gets. It gets all the good stuff. But I was looking and I was like, sticky webs would be pretty sweet for my team. So I decided to go with Leavanny. I went with Leavanny because it gets webs, and I really feel like it forces people to plan for it. If they have a fear of the webs, which I think people are scared of spiders, you know, and people don't want webs in their houses, and they just want to dust it down with brooms and stuff. So they normally have a fear of the webs, you know, and that means they have to bring their Defog or Rapid Spinner against me, even if they're like, oh, you know what, this game rocks can be up, that's fine. They have to bring it against me now. Well, they don't have to, but you know what I'm saying. It's more likely that they have to bring it, which means I can guess their team easier, if that makes sense, and I know it's coming, which means I can plan for it better. That's great. It also has 103 attack, well, let's go through over its stats quickly. 75 HP, 103 attack, 80 defense, 70 special attack, 80 special defense, and 92 speed. 92 speed is nothing to sleep on. It's not slow, it's not particularly fast again, but it's definitely not slow. It could be run scarfed and it would be pretty fast. 103 attack, people are being like, well, it's not that good. It's the same as Greninja's special attack. So if you get a Surf from a Life Orb Greninja coming at you, that is the same as getting a Leaf Blade from a Life Orb Leavanny coming at you. So there you go, that kind of hurts. Imagine that choice banded, imagine a choice specs Greninja Surf coming at you. That's gonna hurt, you know? It's gonna hurt. So, definitely not to sleep on that attack stat for sure, and I feel like people, even if they do think I'm going to bring it, they're going to think, right, okay, so all I really need to plan for is the webs, because it's going to be really easy to kill, but it has decent bulk that people will kind of sleep on, and a decent attack stat that I think people will sleep on, and it has a pretty good move pool. If I just get it up really quickly, it has agility, it has battle pass, it has air slash. If I want to run it especially defensive, especially offensive, I can, with Calm Mind, Bug Buzz, Energy Ball, and I don't know, Giga Drain or something like that, to get recovery or synthesis. It gets synthesis, it gets heal bell as well, giving me 3 clerics on my team. It can use all the hidden powers, of course. Knockoff is available, Hone Claws, Leaf Blade. It gets Sword Stance, Leaf Storm. It gets the screens, I think. It has Seed Bomb, although I'd always run Leaf Blade over that. It gets Poison Jab as well if I want to kill some fairies with it. It gets Toxic Sword Stance. I said that, synthesis. Bug Bite if I know they're going to be running a berry. It gets Electro Web, so watch out for the Electro Web, because I can lower your speed by 1. It gets Grass Whistle if I really want to get funky. It gets Grass Whistle. So that's kind of Leavanny for you, or I can run Solar, Power Herb, Solar Beam, which would be kind of funky as well. I really think that Leavanny is going to be slept on, and I really think I'm going to bring it to more games than people think I'm going to do. I also think I'm not going to bring it to the games where people expect me to bring it. That doesn't really make sense. But yeah, whatever. We'll see what happens in this league. I feel like my team is a very good team. Oh, guys. Oh, Lord. My Leavanny's nickname is Silas Mana because I did Silas Mana at GPC English. What? No, I was supposed to be posh, but it wasn't. I'm actually okay at posh accent. But that time it did not come out well. It did not come out well at all. So I did GCSE English, and the book we studied was Silas Mana, and Silas Mana was a weaver. So there you go. This is Silas Leavanny. If you guys, I don't think many people are gonna make it this far. I don't even get many people watch my videos. Shh. If you guys, ooh, okay, that's kind of cool. If you guys can, let me know for a Miltank nickname. I really need a Miltank nickname. I don't really have one, and a Dusclop nickname. I'd also love that in the comment section down below. Dusclops and Miltank nicknames. You can be featured in one of my videos. You can have some cool, fun stuff named after you. Ha! Yeah, that's exciting. Yes. So leave in the comment section down below. Also tell me in the comment section down below if you like my team, any changes you would make to my team. If you think my team's complete and utter trash, if you think it's good, if you think we're going to take the lead because my team is so good, although I am definitely one of the, I actually think I have one of the best teams in the league. I don't think I have the best team in the league, or well, I say league, I've very literally only looked at my division. I would say I have one of the better teams in my division. I definitely don't have the best, but I have one of the better ones. And I feel like I can do well with it. I feel like it suits my playstyle, even though I have quite a few things I haven't really used before. I think I can adapt them really easily. They kind of seem like the type of ones that I think I can use really well and effectively. And I kind of need the whole good team thing because so I knew the draft was important for me from the beginning, honestly. Because I'm probably, well, from my knowledge, I'm the least experienced player in terms of Pokemon League play in the format. Playing League format. That's what I was trying to say using words and stuff. Wow, English is really not my strong point. That Silas Mana study did not go well, I'll tell you that now. And yeah, it went alright, I got a B. But you don't need to know that. Yeah, I'm one of the least experienced players in the format, so I feel like I need a good team because if you think about it, I've only really had 2 real matches in a proper league. In the IEP I had 2 matches, which I love those 2 matches. They were great, and it's why I really wanted to join this league, and why I kept trying to join really bad showdown comment section leagues, because I just wanted to play in this format. So I did get some practice in, but nearly always against people who had no experience as well. And then by the time I was on my last league, I had way more experience than anyone else in the comment section league. So, you know, I had an advantage there, whereas now I'm at the complete opposite end of things. I'm at a disadvantage, and I love it. And one thing I will promise you guys is that we will come out every single week, win or lose. We will come out trying to win, and you know, doing our best. Unless of course it's like an agreed, you know, we're just gonna run some funky stuff, whatever, or I'm automatically in the playoffs, whatever. I will come out every week, even if we go 10-0. Every opponent will have to know that Exeter Chief Electivires are not a team you can sleep on. And every week we will come out and we will bring our all, and we will ruin your playoff run hopes and dreams and stuff if you sleep on us, because you better not sleep on me, because I'm alive. I'm not sleeping. God damn it. That is going to be all for me today, guys. Please remember, if you do have Dusclops or Miltank name, leave them in the description down below. I'm really struggling for nicknames for those things. That is going to be all for me today, guys. If you guys did enjoy today's video, please leave a like rating down below. If you're feeling like an absolute legend, go ahead and give it a share, because sharing is caring. But other than that, I'll smell you later.